guys. Glad to be back. This is one of the last regular season ones that we'll have of these. So we'll just go quickly through what's happened with us since we last were together. There was no school Friday or Monday, but the girls played both days. So Friday we were at Truman, and best way to say it is we just weren't quite game plan ready. We had a good game plan and came in and just didn't quite execute what we were supposed to do. They're a tough team to play. They like to really slow down the offense and lull you to sleep and then attack. And that happened to us. So we're just ready to see them in districts. We should be okay in districts against them. Then we played St. Joe Central on Monday night, and we got a huge conference win. We finally played up to our potential. It was really good to see the girls actually do all the things that we know they can do. They absolutely shut down their big defensively. We had great help defense. The girl who was guarding her did a really good job on her as well, so that was awesome. Everybody scored. We had even scoring, aggressive rebounding, all that stuff. We have Kearney on Friday, and we can talk a little bit more about that, but it's kind of a non-factor game for us. It's a non-conference game, and right before districts, so we're just treating it like any other game, but not putting a lot of weight into it. What we're waiting for next week is districts, and what you guys are going to see when the seeding comes out is that we're the 5 seed, but I'm here to tell you that we should have been the 3 seed. I know our record doesn't show that, but if you look at common opponents, Fort Osage's common opponents, we have a better record against them, and we lost to them by only 17. They lost to common opponents by 90 points. They beat us in seeding. William Chrisman, same record against common opponents. We beat teams by 36. They beat teams by 11. So no coach wanted to hear that. They just wanted to vote on records, and now we're stuck with the 5 seed and ready to come prove ourselves at districts next week. So it'll be good motivation for our girls.
What do you think went well in the game versus Central?
Everything. It was so good for us to play good. We came out of the gates and jumped on them. Offensively, we were fast breaking against them, which we don't do very often. Our defense was huge. They have a 6'2" who only scored 2 points, and she kind of hurt us. She scored the first 8 points of the game when we played them there. We didn't let their press affect us until the end, which I'm sure we can talk about that, but it was just it was the perfect execution of a game plan for our girls for them to do that this year, so it was good.
So the game against Central, the second half was more physical. How did the team respond to that?
Yeah, the last 4.5 minutes we'd like to have back because they kind of pressed us they pressed us, and we're very physical, and some of us shied away and felt like we didn't know how to handle that, but it's going to happen to us in this conference, in this district always, so we've just got to face up, step through a trap, chin a ball, all the things that they know how to do that they did most of the game. They just had a little stretch there where got to them a little bit, but we'll fix that this week in practice.
How does the win against St. Joe Central affect the team's momentum moving into the postseason?
It's huge. We've told them all year that the only people who will be surprised in a gym when they beat somebody like that, the only people who won't be surprised is us as coaches, because we're with them at practice every day, and we know that they can beat teams that nobody else thinks they should beat. St. Joe Central ran the table in conference to start the year. They beat us, and we have thought that we could hang with them all year long. So it's just good for the girls to have the confidence that we've had in them all year long.
With senior night being last Monday and Mia being the only senior, as a coach, what was that moment like for you?
Yeah, well, I've only gotten to be with Mia for 1 year, as I'm an assistant coach, and I was not with her last year, but Mia had a pretty special senior night. We made it as special as we could for her. She's done a really good job of stepping up into that only senior role. That's really hard to do. The girls loved celebrating her that night, and we had a really good time with her. So I'm glad she got to have a good senior night.
How do you think Mia has stepped up being the only senior playing this year?
I think Mia goes through hard things every day at practice, off the floor, on the floor. She's constantly a steady, consistent force for us. The girls all love her. The girls all look to her to kind of set our pace, and they'll care for her pretty deeply. So I think Mia has stepped into that role really well. We're excited for her track season. We're excited for her future. We can't wait to see all the awesome things that Mia does. So we're glad that we got to have her for 2 years. Glad they moved in from Hannibal for sure.
Although it doesn't affect seeding, how important it is to you guys to play well against Kearney?
I think you nailed it right there. We want to play well against Kearney. We are going in to play a team that I think has only lost 3 times. They don't play a lot of the same teams that we play. They play a 4A schedule. We play a 5A schedule. They're good. They're tough. They've got a 6'4" girl that's just tough to beat. So the key for us is that we play well, that we execute a game plan, that we play hard. We're not going in with any other attitude than we just want to play our hardest and execute our game plan, and we'll see what happens. Hopefully we can come out with a win.
What does the team need to work on before heading into the postseason?
Well, I got to touch on our district a little bit. We need to work on our confidence, for one, because we've been knocked down to that 5 seed, so we need to make sure that we have a good handle on the teams that are coming, that are in our district, and we've played them all, and we've beat William Chrisman. That's another thing. We should have had the seed ahead of them. We've beat them head to head, but they were seeded higher than us. That's real fun. Fort Osage we've never played, but I think we can hang with them just fine. So we're going in with a great big chip on our shoulder, and we need to work on our confidence. We need to work on our toughness, and we just need to go in and prove to everybody what we could have been all year long. And hopefully it'll happen, and we'll get to advance. Thanks, guys, so much. Have a great week.